Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is Saturday, March the 4th. And with that being said, my package has finally made its way all around the country to my mailbox today. And guess what it is? It's the legit kits. I'm telling you what, it's sure to please and not going to be disappointing. But let me tell you about this silly little box. One box was mailed and it's lost out there in the United States somewhere. So a second box has been mailed. And I got to tell you, these guys at Legit Kits rock because they've been tracking it right along with me. And you're not going to believe how many places this box has went. So let me give you a little rundown on it. It left Oklahoma City, the hub central station, and home of Legit Kits. This is too funny. It arrived in Seattle, Washington 4 days later. Then it departed there and it landed in Greensboro, North Carolina. Not even anywhere close to me. So it sat there for a day or two. And then it doesn't belong to us. So they sent it to Washington, D.C. So from Washington, it sat for 3 days. Then it made its way to Baltimore, Maryland, our main hub for where my mail goes. Then it was sent out of there to Lincoln Heights, Maryland, and sat there for a day or two. Yesterday, it left all of this nastiness behind it and started to make its way to Cumberland, Maryland. So this morning I get the ping on my phone. It finally made it to my post office box that I was allowed to go pick it up. But I couldn't pick it up till 11:30 this morning. So to say this girl's Jones and open this box is an understatement because I've been in contact constant with Mike Odell, the owner, Hayden Eagleston, his office guy. You'll see him on the road at all of these shows. Anywhere you see Legit Kits, that guy is one. I'm telling you, you got to hook up with him. He's amazing. One of their other right-hand ladies is the Cranky Kangaroo. She has her own YouTube, so you got to check her out too. She's fluent in FPP, and she's one of the ones that I follow as well, and her name's Jamie Horn. You won't be disappointed with any of them, but let me give you a little bit of back history. In February, I interviewed Mike Odell, owner and operator of Legit Kits. The guy, I'm telling you what, he's off the hook amazing. So if you missed that interview, I'll have my husband drop that interview link in our description box so you can click on it and slip back. I'm just going to give you a wee little tidbit about Mike Odell, and everybody's always PMing me or asking me questions about Legit Kit and who is Mike Odell. Well, let me give you a little tidbit on who he is. He made a posting today, so I just copied it, and I'm going to read it out to you. Mike Odell, owner and founder of Legit Kits, a lifelong artist. Quilting came to my attention in 2018, and I saw an amazing opportunity to help others create works of art through foundation paper piecing. When I'm not running Legit Kits, I can be found behind the drapes in the operating room administering anesthesia as a certified registered nurse anesthesiast. I spend most of my time with my beautiful wife and my 3 great kids. Life is wonderful, but yet it's busy. Now, that's straight from Mike. So if you got any questions, check out the interview. It's one that never disappoints, I'm telling you. So this is a project that's kind of like under wraps. It's in the test phase, but I'm allowed to go ahead and do my box opening, and it's going to be fun. I signed on for an extra block or 2 for the tester. So let's get open and see what goodness awaits. So in my box, it has a warning label, and it says Legit Kits contains highly addictive. Open at your own risk. Now, how cool is that? Love the boxing. Don't mind all the writing because most of it all over the box is where it's traveled. So trust me, with this being my first legit, I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this box for a bit because it's kind of to the point to where it was funny getting it to me. And we're waiting to see if the other one ever shows up. And if it does, I'll mail that back to Mike and Hayden. But it's kind of like MIA. So, you never know. So let me gently pull my project out. And that's the way your kit's going to arrive. I'm going to sit the box down. And this is the test. That's all this is. But they're doing pre-orders right now for it. So if you're interested, you're going to find in the description box my affiliate ID. My number is 344-9742. Won't cost you anything extra to sign up and drop that link anytime that you're ordering from Legit Kits. But I get a little bit of something back. And for that, it goes to my share sale, and I greatly appreciate it. That helps us create all of the goodness that's coming your way. So let me pull back the plastic. And this is one of their newer designs. And I'm telling you right now, I'm totally stoked. Been jonesing to get this baby started for almost a month. The test group's already underway, so I'm a bit behind, but I'll catch that up in no time at all. But this is the way your kit will arrive, regardless of whether it's the muscle, whether it's the eagle, whether it's any of their patterns. It'll always come like this. You can also order just the paper, the pattern in PDF form, or you can order it that way. But go to their website and click on their link and look at all the goodness that it entails. Muscle is a Legit Kits design foundation paper piecing quilt top project. This is going to finish at 60 by 80. It's a medium scale. I like the way that they've labeled it. It's Legit Kits, hashtag paper piecing projects, Kona solid. I love that they only use Kona. It's modern quilt life, modern quilters, quilt kits. So my husband will be dropping and hashtagging all of these as well. And on your first page, you're going to have this, and you can hold your cell phone up and it's going to give you all the information as well. When you turn the pages, you're seeing it firsthand just like I am. This is what it's going to look like when I hang this up on my design wall and I'm starting to lay out my project. So this is the pattern side. So as I'm working my pattern, I'll be working it this way. But when I lay it out, this is going to be the mirrored image. Now, how cool is that? Not many patterns show you both angles. So you sit and wonder, which way do I want it to roll? Well, this is the way it's going to roll out. I'm going to work it up on this because you're sewing to the back of the paper. So then when I'm finished and I lay it on my design wall, it's going to be facing the correct way. And it's going to look just like this. So how cool is that? This girl owned a Camaro back in the day, and I'm totally stoked because mine looked just like it. So I'm kind of jonesing to get this puppy started. And then you're also going to get your color guide, and this is going to give you all the different colors, and there's multiple pages, and it's going to give you the breakdown of every color. They've even got one called School Bus. How darling. They've got cocoa and let me see, coral, tangerine, lipstick. That's for me for sure. Mahogany and coffee. The colors of all of this is so stinking amazing. So there's going to be extras in the kit along the way. And this gives you the breakdown of the colors and how much yardage came with it. Whether it's just like 1/4 of a yard, 1/2 a yard, 1/8 of a yard, 5/8 of a yard. So this is going to give you your breakdown. So as you're checking off your fabric, you're going to make sure that you got everything before you ever do anything. That way, if you're missing something, you pick up the phone, you call, and they'll help you out. So I'm going to set this one aside because after my video, I'm going to be having a look-see. This is my assembly guide, and it's labeled as such, and there's 19 pages. I'm not going to go through every one, but as you're making your assembly of any kit, not just this one, it's going to tell you, so 2A to 2B, and you're going to see that this one block is going to come in 2 pieces. You're going to sew one side, sew the other, and then you're going to marry them together. Leave your paper on after you're done piecing because you're going to need these numbers to do your main layouts. I'm not going to flip through all of these, but I'm just giving you a look-see at what's awaiting you. Then let me get the cut guide. I'm just trying to move these aside. So this is the cut guide that comes with your pattern, and it's going to tell you this particular color. I'm going to call it brick because that's what it says. I've got a half yard of it. You don't have to follow the cut guide, but as you can see, you're going to have a significant amount of fabric left over. With that being said, I would highly recommend that as you're cutting off, you're going to mark each one so that you know you've used the right color to the right piece. I'm going to double mark because as I'm working my kits, I'm going to mark over here and I'm going to find like, let me see, B. I will go to this section and I'm going to find number 2 cuts and I'll be marking that off so that I know I'm double checking myself. These are not the actual size. This is just scaled so that it'll make it easier. So you're going to want to lay out however works best for you. But for me, this is definitely going to be the way. I'm going to put this in a little binder. I'm going to put my holes in it, and I'm going to flip through. You're going to see in the end how mine's going to lay out. So I'm going to flip that over. The pattern comes in, let me see, I want to flip this because it got shifted evidently. There's 126 pages here. Now this is your fine paper that makes it really easy when you're tearing off. Everything is marked when you get it. The way I FPP is I take my pieces and I fold them prior to me ever making my first piece on or my cut. But you'll see that in videos that I'm going to be putting out each and every week as I work this project. Each one has like OG, and that's going to tell you the color. CT, that's going to give you your color. QX, you're just going to have to get down your chart, and this is going to be really cool to see how it all comes out. You can either do it on this, or you can do it over on the freezer paper. Whatever method that you feel more confident in working. So let me move all of this aside because, like I said, there's 126 pages of all of this goodness. So I don't want to get anything all mucked up. So all of these, I will be transitioning mine over to the freezer paper and running it through on my copier. That way all of my stuff will line up really nice because that's the method that I choose to use. And I'll be showing you that along the way as well. But there is nothing wrong with the way that this is rolled out for us to use. Everything, I'm going to do a quick view. And as I'm making my copies and things, making sure that everything's really legible. I love it that he's just using letter codes and such because that's so different from other patterns that I've used in the past. This is going to be a win-win in my book. So let me lay this down this way. Then there's an information packet, and this is kind of like your user guide. And it says, thank you for purchasing our foundation paper pieced quilt kit. There are several sections included in this kit to make piecing the quilt top easy and possible. So you're going to want to look for your color map, and we have that. Your color gadget list, we've got that. Your color code list, we've got that. And you just want to make sure that you have everything on your checklist before you move forward. Like I said, they use Robert Kaufman Kona cotton fabric only. And I love FPP. I would never have thought this a year or so ago, but I'm telling you what, it's amazing. I love the color map because you've got it twofold. And you have the overlay and then the way that you're going to lay it out. So let me flip the page and see what else goodness that they've got here. It's demonstrating everything that you should find: your color gadget, your color list, your assembly guide, your cut list, your foundation paper piece pattern. And it's telling you about Legit Kit exclusively uses Kona cotton quality fabric only. We use the same letter code for every pattern that we create. So if multiple Legit Kits are purchased, scraps from one will work for another. Now, how cool is that? Manufactured dye lots may vary. Slightly colored variations are possible. Kona fabric allotment, everything's going to be labeled with a 1-2 letter code. It's named coded numbers. In case you ever want to order more, say you find a color that you just got to have in your stash, you can order it. First, all labels will need to be removed, creating extra work and confusion in relabeling fabric. Second, washing distorts the shape of the fabric allotment, so you really don't want to do that, but you do whatever works for you. It is recommended that the finished quilt be washed with color catching sheets. That's my method too. Anytime, and it's going to catch all those colors. Prints are not used, and there's a reason for that. Our patterns, because they are a very individual choice. Also, Kona solids do not have a right side and a wrong side, so it's going to make it easier as you're FPPing. So I'm going to flip over here and have a look, see, pattern details, and this is going to tell you everything that you can expect. So I'm going to pull one of their pieces, no rhyme or reason, and I'm just going to give you a look, see, and I'm going to read this off. Your seam allowances, it's showing exactly, right here is your 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. Then your block destination. Each block is designed with a letter and a number. So this is block H, 8. Okay? So when you do yours, you're going to start with number 1, go to number 2, and come to number 3. They do it just like any other FPP, but you're just going to find your main number and you're going to work your block in number order. You're going to look for your fabric code and assemble sequence 1, 2, 3. And you're going to sew, you're going to piece, you're going to press, you're going to iron, and then proceed to the next piece and so forth. Constructing the quilt top is really easy as well. So it's telling you how to do that. You're going to have pieces that you're going to have to join 2 separate ones. I'm just going to use this as the example, and I'm going to hide this for just a second. Imagine this was a whole piece, and you only have to do this little piece. That's going to give you 2 sections that you do need to join. So as you're building your blocks, you're going to want to pay special attention, cut out, and join those together to whatever your method of building your blocks are. There's fragments, and that happens, and that's where you're going to be joining, because those blocks need to come out to a set size. So then let me see, we're going to go on to the next one, and this just tells you how you're going to complete. So you're going to do, like, I'm going to use as the example, it's A6A, A6B, A6C, A6D, and so on and so forth. So with all of that being said, it's just telling you what sequence you're going to work this block in. So you're going to really need to be diligent in watching how you're folding, trimming, cutting, and growing this block out. They've paid special attention at how this is going to work. When you do your quilt top assembly, that's going to be like kind of like the icing on the cake. But you're not going to want to build this all at one time. You're going to want to do like A. You're going to build 1A, 1B. And then we're going to be going A. You're going to join A. The whole row of A, you're going to do row 1, row 2, and build that. And then you're going to go to 3 and 4 and build. And 5 and 6, you're going to do it 2 at a time. Then you're going to do B, and then you're going to start building from that. And then you're going to join A and B, 1 and 2 together. But you're going to follow your mapping. That's where all of this is going to come in together. You're going to want a pin or whatever your preferred method is, and that's going to walk you straight through. Your visual piecing paper guide. This is a godsend. I use an add-a-quarter ruler, but everybody uses something different. Use your preferred method. Marking fabric first in the sequence. So if you're going to pre-cut, you do it however you want. I like to really heavily mark my line and I fold. So it takes me a little bit longer, and I do use my light box just to make sure that everything's coming into alignment the way that I want it to. You're going to sew your first seam, and this is even a very beginner FPPer can do these patterns. You just take extra time. You do all of your ironing with a dry iron. You're going to sew one piece on and join your second, and then you're going to press them. I'm also going to be using my acorn pin, and I'll also be using my pressing method, whichever one that could be. It could be, let me see here, I want to look. It could be my clapper. It could be any way that I want that seam to be as flat as possible. Don't forget to drop your stitch length as you're moving along with the project. And watch how you do your seams. Symmetrical foundation paper piecing pattern gives explicit instructions on seam directions. They are repeating the process. Legit kit patterns are unique blocks throughout. Sometimes it may be beneficial to press seams open or in a particular way. So pay attention to how you're going to do your seams. That's going to be a sure win in all of this. I do this pin method. It says sewing pins for alignment. When you're doing your blocks, stick a pin in the corners, and that's going to help you line everything up perfect the way that we want it to be. A video we currently recommended for beginners is by Angela Walters. So if you're new to FPP, check her out. But I highly recommend the Cranky Kangaroo. I'm sorry. So now I'm down to where I'm going to be hitting my fabrics, and I'm not going to go down through all this because I don't want anything to be distorted or out of alignment, because I have to work my project the best way possible for me. But it says haze. I'm just going to flip through a couple of them and give you a look-see. It has a letter, and it's a 5 by 5 by 9-inch scrap, and it's labeled for the muscle. Nectarine, NT. So everything is labeled. And remember that these fabric pieces are consistent all the way through. And when you have scraps left over, you'll be able to file them using the codes and start your own little stockpile in case you would miscut or something. Pimento. These shadow. And I'm going to get down through my checklist and make sure everything's here as I file. And then I'm going to get started on, I like to starch. So before I do anything, as I'm filing mine and creating my own layout and my own method for my madness with this, I'm going to be working my fabric up this evening and get started on my test blocks. So with all of that being said, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Join the bandwagon with all of us. And Legit Kits, I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. They have more kits out there than I could even fan, I'm telling you. I'm jonesing for like 4 or 5 right off the bat, but I'm going to do this test one, and then I'm going to segue into other opportunities. I've also signed on with Mike of Legit Kits to work his block of the month. I'll receive all of mine in one shipment, and I'll do 1 block a week, walking you through the process and showing you how to store it. So in the end of 16 months, you're going to be able to join me back on my channel, and we're going to put this puppy together. You're not going to be disappointed, I guarantee you. This is fun. And I haven't found something that excites me like this in a long, long time. And legit kits, thank you, Mike, for entrusting these projects to me. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. Take care, everyone. God bless. And I'll see you back after I get all mine worked up and ready to start rolling. Take care and God bless.